Hi and welcome. So today's makeup and hair looks are inspired by Madison Beer's new music video called Baby. And the most liked comment under that video is from Sophie, where she says, "This song makes me wanna have a huge glow up." Sophie, girl, we feel ya, because Madison is such a babe in that video. And even though there are 3 different looks in that video, each absolutely gorgeous. Being an always go for eyeliner person, of course I picked one with graphic liner and 2 slick ponies. And now without further ado, let's get right into the tutorial. So I usually start with prepping my eye. For that, I'm just taking my Too Faced bronzer in Chocolate Soleil and working the shade all over the crease. So you need to blow it out completely just to give it a nice natural shadow. I'm going really softly around and dragging it on this outer lid. Before I start with an actual winged eyeliner, I usually prefer to tightline first. For that, I'm using my Sephora Colorful Contour Eye Pencil in a shade Chocolate Icing. It is super important to make sure that your pencil is nice and sharp in order to get into that waterline. And I always struggle with that. I don't know if that is just me or maybe not the best pencil that I'm using. And next we're going to make a wing. For that I'll be using a couple of different liquid liners, and I'm starting from Kat Von D Tattoo liner in Trooper Black, mapping a simple straight line that could prolong the outer corner of my eye. As my outer eyelid is kinda hooded, it is crucial for me to look straight when doing that. If your eyelids are also heavy / hooded / droopy like mine, you may also try this approach, and I think it will work wonders for you. But your line may turn out a little bit tapered from the first try, but don't worry, we'll be filling all of the gaps later on. Now drag another line downwards and connect it to your crease area. Once again, don't worry about it not being perfect, we're just mapping an outline to follow then. In order to clean up all of the little failures I made, I'm taking my Q-tip and Dr. Jart micellar water. And now we're doing the same to another eye. Mapping that outer edge looking straight into the mirror, gradually connecting it with the outer border of your iris, and then taking another wing into your crease. Of course, cleaning things up with the clean end of my Q-tip. Next, I'm taking my NYX Epic Ink liquid liner, which is not as dry and more liquidy, and making all of the lines more defined, prominent, graphic and thick. However, I would not recommend starting with a tool that intense, because if I would probably mess up. I would definitely recommend Kat Von D liner for controlled and precise application, for mapping and outlining a wing, and then going with NYX Epic Ink liner in order to fill it in, make it black, make it prominent, make it really pop. What is also great about tight lining first approach is that you already have that invisible line that mimics your eye shape. And once you have it, it is then super easy to connect anything that is on your eyelids, such as wing liner. This way everything looks just so much more put together and really, really fierce. Next, I'm going to fill in my brows really quick with my automated Vivienne Sabo eyebrow pencil in a shade 3, and it is called Brow Arcut. I'm also trying to mimic Madison's brows here. Her upper brow line goes really straight, while her lower brow line forms an arch at the end. The tails of her brows are not going downwards, instead they're going sidewards towards her temples, which makes up that entire trendy lifted brow look. I'm also using a spoolie to brush up my brow hairs and also soften the edges. Spoolie can really help you fix all of the harsh lines if you made any. Then I'm taking my clear brow gel, which is also from Vivienne Sabo, and brushing up my brow hairs. On this point, my brows are already pretty, but they're so soft and natural, while in her music video, Madison's brows are like really bold and vivid. The quickest way to fill up my eyebrows with some pigment is going for a pure Harootattoo brow marker. It has a lot of pigment to it, and I'm just adding some to the tails of my brows. Now, as we're done with the eyebrows and before moving on with the rest of the makeup, I'm just taking a few seconds to fix my eyeliner. I'm taking a Q-tip to make it a tiny bit thinner and taking my NYX Epic Ink liner to line it a little bit more. We also need to add a little bit of the eyeshadow onto our lashes. So I'm taking my oldie but goodie Ballerina eyeshadow from Letoile and just keeping piling the mascara on. We need a little bit of patience here. And I also like to add a little bit of mascara to the outer lashes of my lower lash line. This shapes your eyes as almondy and foxy as possible. Now that our eye makeup is 90% ready, we can move on with the rest of the makeup. I will just go with my Korean cushion foundation from Missha. This is a Moist Up foundation and my shade is 23. So I'm taking a little bit of the product onto my cushion and just pressing it into the skin. What I like about cushion foundations is the fact how hygienic it is. And I also would say that I prefer cushion foundations over beauty sponges, because they have some antibacterial properties to it, which means you can wash it not as often, but you still need to wash it. And it's way easier to store. And I'm putting some foundation onto my lips as well, and I'm doing that on purpose. Madison lip color in this look is like really light baby pink color. We need to create a good base for that. Plus, I guess your lips are rounded inwards, so we will try to mimic that effect as well. So before the foundation is all dry and before it melts into the skin, we want to set it with a powder in order to prevent smile lines from happening. For that, I'm taking my favorite Laura Mercier setting powder in translucent and working it in with my Sephora Rouge brush. Now let's all just take a second and appreciate how cushion foundation sponges can be folded to clean up the edges and apply some foundation really close to that area without intersecting with your winged eyeliner, if that makes sense. Now we are going to contour our face. For that, I'm going to be using my Zoeva 105 Luxe highlight brush and my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I think this bronzer is definitely pigmented, especially if used with some natural brush. Be careful, take just a little bit and don't forget to tap it off before applying. Madison has super high cheekbones, so I'm going with the contour really close to my eyes and temples, just above my actual cheekbone. Make sure to drag it upwards and not drag it downwards, as that will bring you a completely opposite effect. I will go with a little bit more of foundation just to clean up the lower edges of my cheekbone contour. Now let's just contour the rest of our face, putting just a little bit onto our forehead, and let's start with the most interesting part, creating that crisp and sharp jawline that you can see in Madison's Instagram pictures. So in order to create that perfect angle, we need to contour right behind it. And should you want to get rid of double chin, you would need to make a double chin facial expression first. Whatever looks extra to you, just put some shade in it. And if you have noticed that I'm using a bronzer as my contour shade, now comes the moment that you've been probably waiting for the entire video. An actual bronzer enters the shot. This is my Fenty Beauty in Shady Bees, and I'm applying it all over just to bring everything together and blend it in. And now that we have some foundation and powder in our under eye area, we are ready to finally complete our eye makeup. So I'm taking my NYX liquid liner again and bringing it down a little bit around that tear duct. Now it's time to bring some natural color into your face, as well as add some of that glowy dewiness. As a base highlight, I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. I'm just mixing all of the shades and applying a little bit on the top of my cheekbones with my e.l.f. fan brush. Last but not least, let's put on some glowy dewy blush. Power Pink Liquid Gel Blush from Iconic London is one of my favorites. I'm dotting a little bit on the highest points of my cheekbones, and I'm placing it right under my eyes on the top of my cheekbones and just tapping it into my skin lightly with my fingertips. And I also apply a little bit of that blush onto my lips. And then I'm finishing my skin makeup with a touch of highlighter. To finish with the makeup part of this look, I'm going with my Suede Matte Lip Liner from NYX in the shade Los Angeles. I'm lining my lips inwards in order to make it more narrow and vertically plump. We'll be adding some lip gloss in order to match with Madison's look in her music video, but now we're just going to add some of that pinky freshness with Korean fresh cherry tint from Etude House. This tint is really going to stay in our lips while we're getting our hair part done. As you can tell, my hair is super prompt to freeze and it's actually curly. So I need to straighten it first, and for that I'm taking my Babyliss Team Pure hair straightener. I never go for any type of complicated sectioning, and I like to keep things simple. So I'm clipping the top part of my hair and just work with 2 sections, right and left. Basically just 2 big chunks of hair. I think that tool is hands down the most effective hair straightener. First, it straightens your hair with steam and makes it super shiny, super soft. It's so different from whenever you straighten your hair with a regular straightener. Plus it has bristles on both sides which basically brush through your hair and make sure there are no tangles that you may eventually burn. Now that our hair is nice and straight, we can put it in 2 sleek back ponytails. Just like Madison in her music video, I'm leaving a couple of strands of hair in front. And to complete this entire look, we need just one more little detail. I'm putting on some hoop earrings. And that's it for this look. I'm so excited about it, and thank you for watching and for staying up to this point. This look makes me want to go out and party, which I've been missing so much on the quarantine. We are still in a lockdown, so I may only go for grocery shopping, which I'm about to do actually. That's so sad. Anyways, if you like this look, please give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments if you tried to do it on your own. I'll be super happy to hear back from you and hope this video finds you well, because the algorithm. If you'd like to see more from me, just let me know by hitting that subscribe button. And please stay healthy, stay safe, and have a great one.